Hello, today is a fun lesson, no deep grammar. What we're doing today is I'm going to give you sentences like the following. A of birds, a something of fish, a something of owls, or a something of rhinoceroses. And what we're going to do is you're going to tell me the correct collective nouns. Easy, hey? Each of these animals uses a different word, a collective noun, to describe it when it is in a group. So, for example, the first answer is a flock of birds. Number 2, a school of fish. If you got those correct, well done. However, they were the easier ones. Do you know the answer to number 3 and number 4? Stick around because I'm going to tell you the answers to these plus many more interesting collective nouns straight after the intro. Hi again and a warm welcome to today's lesson and to the Grammar Man channel if you're new here. I'm Travis and as I mentioned, today I'm going to teach you collective nouns for animals that are either interesting or not so well known. These terms, I think, are fantastic to know. And a really great thing is that many native speakers aren't aware of these. And how great it is to use one of these terms if English is not your first language and explain the meaning to a native English speaker. So, let's get into it. First of all, the two from the beginning of our lesson today. The answers are, boom, that's a shocking drum roll, a parliament of owls. And you may also know that the parliament is also a political term referring to the politicians that make the laws in a country. We use a parliament of owls because owls have long been considered wise. This actually goes back to at least ancient Greece, when the owl of Athena was usually depicted accompanying the goddess of wisdom, Athena, normally on her shoulder. And of course, many people might say these days that a parliament of owls is a slightly ironic term and more than a little offensive to the owl. But its intelligence is at least rooted in Greek mythology, which predates its current collective noun. Next up, we have a crash of rhinoceroses, or a stubbornness of rhinoceroses. Quite a literal meaning here. Rhinoceroses are notoriously stubborn creatures, and a crash is what they're likely to do if they were ever to run at you in a collective group. You see, rhinos can run 30 miles an hour, but they can only see 30 feet in front of themselves. Next one, I'll give you a chance to take a guess. How about elephants? A group of elephants is called a... I'm going to stop doing that. A group of elephants is called a parade. Some people call them a herd, but how boring. Add some colour to your language and call them a parade. Next one is a classic. We all know pandas, the big black and white bears from China that look extremely cute but would probably rip your head off and eat you if given half a chance. A group of these is called, I bet you don't know, an embarrassment of pandas. An embarrassment of pandas. Don't ask me why, I've got no idea, but it's another great one to add to your vocabulary. Moving on to number 7. How about a couple of Australian animals this time? We've done China, we've done plenty of Africa. Time for my country, Australia. Let's start with the kangaroo. A group of kangaroos is called a kangaroo. No, just joking. It's not a kangaroo. A group of roos is called either a mob of kangaroos, like you can have a mob of people, or you can also have a troop of kangaroos, or a herd. But I think you should use kangaroo. Kangaroo. Okay, another Australian animal. How about a wombat? A wombat. This one is quite ironic actually. A group of wombats is called a wisdom of wombats. Apparently, wombats are highly intelligent. I did not know this. We sometimes call people in Australia who we feel are a little bit simple or of lower intelligence, shall we say. We sometimes call them a wombat. You bloody wombat. That's a term you might hear in the outback. And if someone calls you this, they unfortunately do not think that you're very wise. And quite the opposite actually. Next up, how about this one? A group of swans. Do you know what a group of swans is called? It's actually called a bevy. A bevy of swans. This is just if they're chilling on the lake or something. But if they're in flight, then you can call them a wedge of swans. And the final interesting collective noun we will talk about today, how about monkeys? Monkeys are often found in groups, so this is a collective noun that you might actually use. So try to remember this one. A group of monkeys is called a troop. A troop of monkeys. Alright, so there you go. There are a lot more of these, so I might make another lesson on these in a couple of weeks. There are some real beauties used for sharks and stingrays, crows is a good one, and for apes, and all sorts of interesting and colourful collective nouns that we can use to brighten up our vocabulary. I hope this lesson was entertaining and helpful. If you want more free video lessons, don't forget to subscribe, and importantly, click that bell because I'm uploading new lessons 3 times per week at the moment. So it's a great time to jump on board the channel. Thanks everybody. I wish you a fantastic day and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.